Well, I ate a lot of asparagus.
That looks like his piss.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Resident Redneck. Again, tonight we are without the life coach. However, we do have the Briscoe Kid.
Howdy, y'all.
And Dave.
And Dave.
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
Yeah.
Shit show part 2.
Shit
Show
show
part two.
pocket 2.
Not
I don't know
cool
why we
enough
turned
to get a
Asian,
nickname
but-
yet. What?
I don't know why we turned Asian, but all right.
I don't know.
Shit show part 2.
What was it in Japanese? It did not come from diaphragm. Oh my god, I got too much shit going on. I'm trying to get live on YouTube and I'm live on Twitch.
Why did you start the fucking podcast?
Because of what you guys were talking about. And I wanted to pull a Casey and
colored
fire
piss.
it off before you had a chance to stop talking.
What were we talking about?
How you said that this translucent green blue liquid looks like your piss?
I didn't say my piss.
You just said piss. I said and then I said who the fuck pees that color?
I'm sure someone. There, things you eat will
I'm
change
sure
the
there's
color of your
somewhere-
pee.
I'm sure there's someone out there that's peeing blue.
I'm actually going to end this. We'll go back to go back to Instagram. Last week I had some guy.
Fuck you, TikTok.
I had some. Whoa, calm down.
Nope. Y'all
Um,
heard me.
I had
Fucking
some guy
communists.
going kind of crazy on the old Instagrams, and because I was a good sport, he was like, "Fuck it," and liked our page. So it's like, "Well, all right, cool." Yeah, now I see my face on Instagram, and it's weird, and I don't know how to get out of here. Okay, well, in shit show part 2.
Wait for the topic.
I don't know what the topic's gonna be, but I think
Well,
Dave has a pretty
we
decent
got a
one
real good
Pretty
shit
decent
show.
one.
as far as the shit you come up with, or the things that change in your life after having children.
Huh.
And it's kind of cool because we have you, who has no children, and the both of us
Who has a children?
who have a children,
Who have a children?
kind of get it, and it's kind of we'll be able to see both sides of the story here. I think. Dave, what would be
Maybe.
your number one thing that changed after having kids?
That any ounce of energy I thought I had got stripped away. Like, it's like
Yeah, I could get that.
it's like it's just you be like a full-time worker, and also me in my case, where I'm also been a full-time student, and then being a full-time dad. Basically, it's just like whatever energy I had, like it's like
Oh yeah, you
it's
wanted to
gone.
do something for you, and you
Yeah,
get home,
yeah,
you're like, oh
yeah,
no,
no.
fucking tired. Fuck this.
Yep. Nope. The only thing I ever did for me was like make food.
Make food.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
you mean like when
I'm
you got home, you were
lobster.
like,
I
oh
make
fuck
food
it, I
for
can make
myself.
some food.
Yep. Then again, I did when I was married. I did like 95% of the cooking too. So it was like I said, I'd work, get home, clean, cook, do all that good stuff, hang out with the boys until I got them to bed. Crystal didn't do that, so I got them to bed.
We straight name dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. I already forgot the name.
That's good.
Cindy.
Fuck you, Samantha.
So, yeah. But,
God damn it, Henrietta.
but then it's like then it's in trying to do schoolwork, and you don't even get a chance to start on that until like 9 o'clock or whatever. Just like that's probably the big thing. It was just an added layer of like, okay, like I'm fucking exhausted, but I don't ever want to leave anyone with that impression that that's like.
Yeah, you're
The-
making it sound real fun.
Yeah.
To be a parent.
Yeah, but it is. Well, I mean, it is, and that's the thing. Like, it's like I said, I've never liked children.
That's something that you.
That's fair.
I've never liked.
That's fair. I've never
just,
liked children,
I've just
but I
never
would,
liked children. I've been able to relate or communicate with kids. Like, I don't know why. but I've just never been able to. But it's like when you, I mean, it's cliched, whatever, but when you do have your own kids, it's like, it's a wholly different feeling. And even then, it was like from the instant, they're born, you're just like you, like the love you have for your kids is just unlike anything.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
The sneeze, piss, cough, shit all over you,
Yep.
fart, and random weird fucking sections of life where you're just like standing there, they jump up, or you're sitting in the chair and they jump up there with you and they're like, "Oh, Dad, I love you." And you're like, "What the fuck?" I would still jump up and beat a motherfucker's brakes off in the living room if he broke in, just to protect that child.
Yeah, I think it was Ryan Reynolds. There's a really funny quote from him.
Quote.
Yeah, where he was talking about Blake Lively, his wife, where he's like, you know what? He's like, when I with her, I thought, she was just so amazing, so beautiful. Like she's just the most amazing thing on the planet. I would do anything for her, whatever. Like I can't imagine loving anyone more than I love her. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And he's like, the instant I saw my daughters, born, I knew I would use my wife as a human shield to protect that baby.
Yeah, no, I seen that one too. I
Yep.
giggled. And I think that too, I mean, to a point. Like we were talking in the break, I went upstairs. Well, it's all dark upstairs. And on podcast night, the 4-year-old hangs out in the bedroom with the wife and ultimately ends up doing a sleepover, right? No big deal. It's cool. It starts spending time together, bonding, whatever, since we've had the newborn. And it's, for whatever reason, just kind of a thing for them. They love it and have a good time. Well, I went upstairs. It's dark in the kitchen, dark in the living room. Door shut to the hallway because we can't let dogs get into the bedroom because the one dog can't fathom having a fucking baby around. And so it's pitch black in there. Well, I opened the fucking door and I'm now standing in the kitchen. And to her, I'm sure I look like a giant, again, remembering as a kid. I used to think my dad was like this fucking legendary, huge, just, monster. My dad's 5'10". I mean, it's not like he was a beast of a guy, right? Now, had I seen Brody, I would have been like, oh my fuck, as a 4-year-old.
Trust me, you know how many kids walking around whispering?
My kid loves you.
Whispering. I don't know why. I've only talked to her like twice.
That's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. And the funny part is when you walked through the door and you were mauled by all 3 dogs and the kid started talking to you, you started laughing and giggling and smiling and shit. I was like, what? Brody has a more gentle side? But it's funny because I literally walk into the door. I'm Dad. I burped and I said something and I shut the door and it scared the shit out of her. She ran into her room. She started whimpering. And I'm like, no. This isn't how this goes. But I got her. I get into the bedroom. I'm like, hey, if you're going to send her out into the fucking abyss out there, you need to turn on a light for the child. Because there's no light switches from the hallway door in through the living room, right? And she did, man. When she went past the kitchen doorway, because I could see her white little legs just, and I heard her. I was like, what the fuck? So, I mean, I immediately felt bad. I was like, where is he? I'll knock his lights out, right? But then it was like, oh, fuck, that's me. Way to go, dumbass. Perfect timing in the situation, I guess. It was the only time that the wife sent her out of the bedroom to go get whatever it was. There I am. Here comes the boogeyman, through the back door of the house. But it's one of those things where I wouldn't hesitate to cut a motherfucker for a 3-foot tall person right now, as long as it's her.
Right.
Even though everybody else's kids, I'm like, will you shut that fucking thing up? I can't. You're driving me nuts, lady. I'm in the chip aisle.
Right. So you would never say it though.
Oh, we've been there. I'm normally not the aggressor. I have to be provoked, right? And I've had a lady tell me some shit at the counter or in the grocery store that has gotten me into some trouble. because I've turned and looked at her and been like, look, bitch, my kid's in the cart minding her damn business. Your kid's over there got his underwear in his fucking head, pulling shit off the shelf, throwing a fit. You can suck it. But I normally, like I said, until I'm provoked, I normally will just keep going because I normally think to myself, I'm like, God, I bet she wishes she'd had worn a condom or, she'd had him wear a condom or taken birth control about this time. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a couple times in my life I've looked at the ground and myself and crossed my fingers and been like, why the fuck did I have these?
No.
No. No, but me being as tall as I am, I can't tell you how many times a day I hear a little kid whisper to their parents, "Look how tall that guy is! Wow, he's really tall, isn't he, Mom?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear you. You're whispering so loud.
Right? Don't you love that? Mom, Dad, why is this? And it's like, oh my God, shut up.
Why is that guy in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just a scream, little Timmy. That wasn't even an attempt.
Hey, but that's the innocence of kids.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, it's like they just like they don't have
The filter.
yeah,
They haven't
like
learned
the
it yet.
social understanding.
They're just hip firing, man.
Yeah, I know I was bad about that when I was young. Like, and my parents would be like, "Dave, like,
Oh
your
yeah,
voice fucking carries."
Oh.
Like, but I'd be like, "Man, that lady's fat." And you're like, "Dave."
I think one of the best ones. My cousin was small during the Gabriel Iglesias stuff, right when it was getting big, and her mom or his mom loved watching his stand-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember where we were, but we were in a grocery store, and I hear this kid in the cart go, "Damn!" And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I turn around, and she's trying to get him sit back down in the cart. And there's this lady walking by, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I'm lost here. Was it because of the width or the height?" Because she was close to the ground, and the whole aisle's worth. I mean, she could have pushed 2 carts.
He's like wider than taller.
She just walked between the carts, and her hips would have pushed both carts. And his mom smacked him. "Sit down. What the? Stop it!" Smacking him in the head. And I walked up. I was like, "Wait a minute, width or height?" And he goes, "Did it matter?" And I was like, "Okay, this 5-year-old's got it figured out." But with as much like guttural drone as he could. Damn! I was waiting for the other part too because I always laughed about 2-ton Tina the Tank. And he fucking loved that shit, and he would spout it off. He'd be like, "Damn, it's 2-ton Tina," and with about that time, he was like, "No, shut up." I got so many good looks in the grocery store with that kid. Fucking redneck parents are like, "Ah," and then these bigger ladies are like turning around like, "You shut that boy up." Get all sassy and shit. It's like, whoa, calm down. Kids say the darndest things, all right? And they do. Fuck. They say some of the shit that you're just like, yep, that's going to get me in trouble. Brody's just over here like, yeah, I'll drink another glass of whiskey. I don't know. I think siblings have a lot to do with that too, though.
With what?
I've heard some definite, like, different shit come out of the 4-year-old's mouth in the last month and a half that we've had the newborn. And one of her new favorite words is literally, but it's literally, or what is it? How does she say it? Literally. So
Literally,
like she's
literally.
Yeah, something like that. It's a little off. It's damn close, but it's just a little off, and you're like, okay, you're right. I was literally going to the bathroom or wherever. Yeah, but It's just kind of funny because they say different stuff after the other one's born. Like after the sibling is born, it almost gets intensified. Or at least it
Yeah.
has with mine. I've noticed it with mine.
But I guess I don't know. Mine are like a year apart. To where I mean, we didn't like. It's not as if the older one was talking
Right.
when the other one was born. So it's like I'm like I don't know.
Wait a minute, yours wasn't talking at one. I knew that
Probably
was
not
gonna
using
fuck
like
me over.
amazing words.
Mine started learning words way early. I was like,
Yeah,
"Whoa, calm the
that's
fuck
also
down,
girls. Like
girls."
just always seem to like catch on to that
You're
kind of
smarter
shit
than
faster.
us.
No, I disagree.
Yes, Carly, I know. But
I know what. You can't have a secret conversation over there.
said you're in trouble because you don't have a filter and you made two of them
And you made
or
two.
two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm in trouble. Trust me.
What?
Every time the child says a cuss word, they're like, "That was Brock." No. That was definitely her mom. If it was me, this is what it would have sounded like. I say it, and they're like, "Oh, makes sense."
But like I was saying earlier, before we started, and you made me shut up and stop talking about stuff. Kids also say when kids said something that a normal adult will say, it sounds a lot creepier. Like if the kid says they can hear voices,
Oh yeah.
you're like, "What are you fucking talking about? What's going on?" If an
Yeah.
adult says that, like, "Okay, crazy, go back to the asylum." But if a fucking kid says it in the middle of the night, you're like, "Okay, well, we're leaving."
Really.
Hilton? Yes, Hilton. Room for two.
For the next week, please.
Dude. I have. It's kind. I'm sure Matt wouldn't have ever told you for any reason. Um, but this is probably like 3, 4 years ago, maybe something like that. So his daughter, whatever, we had like a super freaky, like, incident of that nature, of
Oh, of the supernatural
kind.
nature.
Yeah, it was stuff like her mom found like all sorts of like creepy drawings and stuff, and they'd say things like, we have taken over this house, and it was creepy as shit, and um, yeah, like it was how whatever you believe. I mean, teach their
I
own.
don't. That shit.
But basically, we have someone close to us and close to our family, who we feel can kind of is in tune with that world.
The medium type stuff.
Yeah, and so um, she helped us cleanse their house and stuff like that. But man, was that
Oh,
shit creepy.
saged it.
That was part of it.
Oh my god! You want to know what's great about
But-
that shit? My sister saged this place because we've been dealing with nightmares like a motherfucker.
Mhm.
It's like I don't fucking know. I'm sure somebody's died in this house.
Well, what do you mean? Maybe not even the house, but even
Well,
like
guys,
the neighborhood. Like, I mean, it's just. I mean,
I guess that's a good topic. Do you guys?
Okay, well,
believe in
way to
that
fuck
crap?
me up, Dave. The
Yeah.
whole fucking neighborhood could be in my living room. This is not cool.
But do you
Yeah.
believe in that crap?
I don't know.
I do. Just
Aliens, fucking ghosts, all that
aliens, by the way.
Well, wait a minute. Aliens and ghosts are two totally different
shit? It's all
ballparks.
paranormal.
I'm gonna take a cue from
Grab
Alex
here,
Jones.
Pull
and,
up.
um,
Grab here, pull up.
From the arm.
Yeah, quit messing with them.
Because that's how you get it
Yeah,
all
I know, but
loosey-goosey.
my back is on fire, so I have to
Oh,
lean
forward
forward
and
sometimes and lean back sometimes. But aliens are interdimensional. They are not from outer space. Let's be clear on that.
they're what?
They're interdimensional.
All right, I'm lost.
We're on conspiracy night.
No, I
No,
said I was
night.
taking
I
a
mean,
cue from Alex Jones.
I'll say something that scared the shit out of me about 2 months ago, and this is probably the first time I'm talking about it out loud.
All right,
Oh.
getting our feelings out with Brody.
No, it's not feelings.
You're-
It scared the shit out of me.
Okay. Wait, what was
So
Well,
it was
being
one of the
scared
nights
is
where
a
I couldn't
feeling,
fucking
bud.
sleep. I'm sitting in the living room of my place, and it's pitch black. All the lights are off. I'm just sitting there. I was on my phone for a minute, And right when I turned it off, I see this big old white orb flying through the sky. And it was moving weird. It wasn't moving like a fucking plane. And it was bright and fucking big and circular. Scared the shit out of me.
Like outside the house?
Out in the sky.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't look like it was very
It's a
high
weather
up.
balloon.
Yeah, it was glowing fucking white as those fucking lights there. That's about how bright it was.
Yeah.
And it scared the shit out of me. I just froze and just sat there as this thing was moving around the sky weirdly. I never talked about it till now. Scared the crap out of me.
When was this?
This was maybe like 2 months ago.
Months ago.
I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I turned on the TV and I was like, we're watching TV till I have to go to the work in the morning.
I'll have to go to the work.
To the work.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've had enough. I haven't had any what I would call like alien encounters, but
No,
like
I've never been probed.
but
And
other
I'm not saying that was an alien. I just don't know what the fuck it was.
or
It scared the
whatever,
shit out of
something
me.
like that. But I've had like enough like sort of like paranormal experiences to think that it's real. Especially so in the previous episode where I talked about my aunt, being killed. So this medium person that I talked about, who's a family friend, essentially predicted it about a year before. Now she didn't know it'd be her specifically that died
Yeah.
or whatever, but she was like, she had like a dream one night. She's like, I'm getting. She called up my dad. She's like, I'm seeing your family name, Furbishay. She's like, I'm getting your name. She's like, I'm seeing this model of a truck, this model of a car. I'm getting, oddly enough, these coordinates. She had the numbers, like the coordinates memorized from this dream or whatever, which turned out to be a part of my aunt's property where they found her body, like the exact spot. And so one of the cars she dreamt about was her car, which is, they found her in the trunk. The truck that she dreamt about was the truck that the tenant the guy who killed her, whatever. But she dreamt all of this, and this was like a solid year before it actually happened. And I'm like, so it's just like that one was big, but I've had enough to where I'm like, there's definitely things that we can't observe. Or
I wouldn't say
hear.
we're alone, but I would definitely say that we are a lot of like. I feel like a lot of this comes from shit that we don't know, right?
Mhm.
Like there's areas in our own brain that we've never explored, or there's that mental capacity to create something. Like Casey will tell you that you can't create anything unless you've seen it before, right? But
Well, he's a turd.
He's not here.
He's an idiot.
He's not part of the podcast this week, so he can fuck off.
but at the same point in time, like eventually you have to create everything, right? Well, your brain, it can create, and granted, yeah, maybe you've seen something that this is, my memory's kind of shit, so maybe whatever, this is just what it is. But you create something in your own brain that then becomes real, right? Where you've turned it into something that is now a thing. I feel like the mediums and the ghosts and all that shit is just something that we've created over years of fucking dealing with. Now you see the paranormal videos where some dude's standing in the kitchen, the fucking broom falls over, turns around like, what the fuck? And then the fucking door opens and you're like, okay. First off, yes, it could have been rigged. Was it? I don't know. Wasn't there. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. I mean, there's enough natural, weird phenomenon shit that happens in this world that's like, don't know. Maybe somebody super glued whatever that was to where it was. And,
I don't know. I just think
I don't like the medium thing per se, because my sister did one the other day.
she did
And
a medium.
She went.
Did a medium.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did
That's
a medium.
a whole different experience.
She did one of those readings with a medium, and
I think probably like 98% of them are phonies.
yeah, like 5 days beforehand, there was some dude on a bicycle going through our garbage. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I like chased him off, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, "Oh, it's on the street." I don't give a fuck. Just don't. Fuck it. And I had already had enough of a day. I was like, fuck it. You can have many fucking dirty diapers as you want. Come in the house, and then a week later, I find out about this thing. I'm like, so is that why there was somebody fucking digging through our trash can, looking for shit? Like, well, I've never had that problem before, but here it is. So I think a lot of that horse shit's made up just to make a couple fucking bucks.
Oh no, I agree. I think probably the vast majority of people who claim to be psychics or mediums or whatever the fuck healers are fake. But I mean, again, I just feel like I've seen enough to think that there's some legit ones there. I mean,
I don't know. I watched almost all of the seasons of Supernatural, so I'm an expert on these things.
I think there's got to be a certain type of person to be able to, if it is like people that are people out there that can't communicate with that kind of stuff. Takes a certain type of person. You have to be wired a certain way to be able to.
I agree. I think some people obviously probably have like a natural disposition to it, but I also think like it's sort of can be like snubbed or cultivated.
Yeah.
To where I mean, honestly, like how I talked before we started this episode with Mason having again where he turned his head and like he was answering somebody, even though no one was there. It's like I think the possibility is that like as kids, they actually are connected to that world,
Well, they say
world.
that like animals, dogs, and kids are more susceptible because they haven't taken real life shit and blocked everything out.
Right, but so you have parents who, over years, are like, "No, that wasn't real. That was just a dream. That's just your imagination." So you have all this reinforcement that's like, "It's not real. It's not real. It's not real."
Right.
To where it literally like it sort of closes that door for kids.
You end up shutting it up. I've always been told ghosts aren't real. You guys are idiots, whatever.
Like when I was younger, I swear I used to be able to hear voices talking to me and shit like that. And I came to a point where I was like, I don't want to talk to you, go away. And then voices stop. So I feel like you can shut that shit off.
All right.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I wholly think you can. I mean, it's just as much as people, I mean, you can maybe try to work to turn it back on. I mean,
I mean,
but that could also be just a kid's mind fucking coming up with shit. Like you said, your daughter in the dark. That could have been just my kid brain.
I scared the shit out of her, and being 6 foot tall and wide as a fucking milk crate. I step into the fucking room and shut the door, and all there is this big black shadow and a bunch of noise that happened. Yeah, she's scared shitless. She doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Of the kid is a lot.
And she has a wild imagination, and we don't tame it one bit. So yeah, I can only imagine what fucking monster she thought I was coming through the door.
So I'm saying I was a kid, so I could have been just making up shit too.
I don't know, but the flip side is that's something I've consistently heard is that basically if you're direct about it and you go like, nope, like I don't want any part of it, then it will stop. Like you see something like nope, you're not welcome here.
There's a guy on TikTok who goes live all the time when he goes into these like abandoned and haunted places, right? He goes live all the time, and some of the shit that happens in his life, it's like, I mean, you could manufacture that if you needed to, right? But at the same point in time, because I'm not opposed to being open to it, because if it's here, I want to kind of know. I mean, ultimately, right? If there is that, I don't want to say threat, but there's that thing,
forces,
you kind of want to know, right? Because then you know what you're going up against or what you have to deal with. If you're just going to block it all out, that's like the guy who puts on all of his armor and just marches through battle. You're going to try to block out everything until finally one day it gets you. The tank rolls up, blows him away. You kind of have to have that either open-mindedness to like, we're probably not the only motherfuckers around here.
that's kind of actually again, and I will say that all the events that have happened for me over the years have actually made me want to, in a sense, like open that door because I don't like being ignorant, and
I get that.
you know what, I'd rather be able to understand it and sort of have some control rather than like be controlled by it.
I get that to a point because I don't want to turn the corner in my own house and see 12-toed Tom from down the street fucking just jumping around like, oh, hey, Tom, thanks. You scared the shit out of me. I'm glad I shit my drawers and I got to go wipe my ass. But, I'm glad you were here. Cool. Have a good night. I'm not, because that's where you get to a point with that shit where you're either making it up or you're actually running into some of this shit. And if you believe some of these stories that people say, you're like, oh, cool. That's not fucking fun,
Right. Yeah, and that's the flip side of it too for me is like where I'm like, well, I want to sort of again be more informed and maybe have some more control over
Right.
it in my life, whatever. But then I'm like, do I want to open that door? Like,
Yeah.
is this
Do I wanna-
opening? Like,
do I
will it
really
open
wanna
a
go here?
floodgate to where
Do
it's
I
like,
wanna- Do I want to
like,
deal with this shit on the
do-
daily?
what
I
do-
don't
yeah,
know.
exactly.
You're calling
What are-
random phone numbers.
yeah, what would you invite into your life is the big question.
Yeah. Well, and that brings back to like, I think me and you talked about like the Ouija board thing with Casey. We
Oh,
would
I don't
never
fucking
do it.
do Ouija board.
I
My
wouldn't
s-
I'm
either.
out.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So-
either. My sister, when she lived in the Bay Area, she was living in this place, and
Well,
they
that's where
found a
she went
Ouija.
wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
They
there's
found a Ouija board in their basement, and they had all this weird shit going on. And they found the Ouija board, and they fucking got rid of it. The weird shit stopped happening in their fucking house. So there's a part of it to where
I think so. I think it's two things, sort of. So I think the board itself is a board, like it's just a thing.
Mhm.
And there's even, do you guys like Penn and Teller,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
magicians, those
Yeah.
guys? Well, they basically had a show that ran for like 8 years, 9 years, whatever it was. It was called Bullshit, and basically where they kind of debunk a lot of things, or they kind of just go over stuff that they think is bullshit. And so there was an episode of Ouija boards, and so basically they did an experiment where they had this group of people. They took them to a hotel that was sort of known to be haunted,
right.
and so they had them do it. And it's like, are we speaking to the ghost of Joe blah, blah, who died here? Blah blah blah. And it's like, yes. Well, so they basically then blindfolded them, flipped the board, and they would ask them questions, and their hands would go to where they used to be.
Oh,
So
right.
so it was muscle memory of going where the stuff was on the board.
Yeah.
So it's like, so obviously if it was, say, a spirit communicating or whatever, that wouldn't trip it up. It would be going to the appropriate letters and words and stuff.
Right.
So I think it's just a thing. The flip side is that I think maybe people's belief that they're communicating with something actually could make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know. The Ouija board thing freaks me out because you see enough of it, like in TV shows and shit.
I would
where
still
the
say I
fucking-
would never touch one.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not fucking with that.
I've
But-
seen them in Target and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, as you know, they're made
Get
like,
that shit out of here. Get
Uh,
my
Seen
Monopoly
it in
board.
Target.
yeah, I think it's
Motherfuckers.
Parker Brothers.
It's either Hasbro or
Hasbro.
Parker Bro.
Yeah, it has
yeah.
the patent or has the rights to it.
Yeah,
whatever.
I was always
And
like,
they
get
sell
that
them
shit
like
out of the way. Give
board
me the
games.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. But you see enough of these like TV shows and shit where the thing moves on its own.
Mm.
That's the part where I'm like, okay, why is everybody got to be touching it if ghosts are just ripping cupboard doors open and shit in other videos? Like, right? You got these ghosts that are actually fucking doing shit, right? Well, why the fuck would the Ouija board be any different? Why the fuck I gotta touch it? So I
And-
think that whole thing is a load of shit.
But at the
Because-
same time, why risk it? Don't want that shit in your
Right.
But yeah, no, I agree. I 100%. I'm like, that's juju I don't need,
Right.
Because it's not of the good
And
variety.
that's basically what they kind of determined. It was like, is that if there's multiple people who are actually like affecting the movement of that little the
triangle
thing,
fucking thing,
whatever
yeah.
they call it. It's like your body's only doing a fraction of the work to move it around. It feels like you're not doing it, it's just happening. But the fact is, you have multiple people who are all putting in a small amount of the energy to move the thing around, to where everyone feels like they're not doing anything, when really it's like this collective, like idiomatic movement that you're all doing together. Like that's what.
Well, see, that gets into like the brain activity of like losing an arm or whatever. You ever feel or, like
The
obviously none of
phantom
us haven't
pains.
lost
Phantom limb.
phantom
Yeah.
pains and shit like that. And so, I mean, your brain is capable of a lot of shit that you know we as individuals don't realize, but as a collective group somewhere they've been like, oh yeah, and this is why you feel pain in your right arm, right? Like they had a guy, he put his arm down on the table and he took a cardboard box and they moved it over his arm and then put the fake hand there, and he flinched on the fake hand when he seen the knife headed for his hand, right?
So
Fake rubber hand, all of this. And they straight up stab it to the table. The guy flinches and jumps back with his hand because he mentally the tests or the things that they had done beforehand to trick him that was his hand. He, even though all the stuff, like they would touch his hand or touch the fake hand,
Yep.
and he would feel it because he could see the motions and shit and all this stuff. And yeah, it's like your brain can create these things. It's not, you're like, especially with like your what do they call it, your sensories. I can't think of the fucking, but like basically your smell, your sight, your taste, your touch, all that kind of stuff. Your brain can basically mimic all that shit. So who's to say it can't mimic all the other shit
The flip
and
side
just put it in front of your eyeballs?
is when it's collectively experienced. So say
Mhm.
doors swing and chairs fly and stick to the ceiling, something like that, to where it's like if multiple people are all observing, sensing, experiencing the same stuff, that's when it's like it's maybe not someone's head.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, Bill, you're not crazy. We can go fishing on Thursday.
yeah.
If we make it out of this house alive.
We get out of here, we're gonna go fishing. Your boat or mine? You drive, I'll buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you talk about the ghosts and shit like that, it's like a part of me is just like, no, I don't want to fucking deal with it. But the other
Out of
part,
sight, out of mind.
exactly. But the other part of me is like, I really would like to know what the fuck is keeping my children awake at 2 in the morning. Or
I
the
wouldn't.
dogs. The dogs is the big one
Oh,
for
I've
me.
had animals just stare. Like, I don't know where they'll just stare. My dog at my place, randomly, will just fucking, out of nowhere. And just stare at the corner of the fucking room. Okay, enough. Look somewhere else. We're not doing
Enough.
this.
Stop looking.
Go to sleep. Throw the blanket over here.
I think my favorite, the one that got me the most was we used to have a very large dog who sat in the living room with us and watched TV, whatever. He'd lay on the floor or on the couch, whatever. We didn't give a shit. I'm walking through the the dining room area in my old house into the kitchen, got something to eat, turn around, look, this dog is sitting down, face out the window, wagging his tail on the floor. And I'm like, nope, don't think so. Go the fucking. I was like, nope, come on, go. Move your ass. I was like, I'm not having this shit right now. Yeah. And we had issues in that house. And I was like, I don't know how to fucking explain them. But I can tell you they were fucking creepy enough to make me go, we're selling this bitch.
Yeah. No, I've had a cat back in California, in the house I lived there, sitting. There's a room, all the lights are in pitch black, sitting there, staring into the door, just meowing at nothing there, like just staring at something in the darkness, just meowing at it. I was like, okay, we're turning on all the lights.
See, yeah.
Brody sleeps at daytime tonight.
I guess
Who needs darkness to sleep?
in the world of spirituality, it's just that everything's like grounded in just energy. So it's like flowing water, the electricity around us, like literally everything is like can be a conduit for spirits to sort of
Right.
like move and affect, and because it's all energy, and it's just
You feeling the energy, man?
yeah.
Carly says that her 2 dogs used to growl at the wall in the house in Ohio.
There was a dead body in it.
It's because they were in Ohio.
That's why there was a ghost.
Well,
a
it's
dead
like
person
you
in the
look.
wall.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like look at how many cities. I mean, granted, it's not. This isn't Europe where it's like a
Mhm.
1,500-year-old city, a 4,000-year-old city, or whatever. But it's still. I mean, 200-300 years is plenty of time for a lot of shit to go down in a house or a town or city, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you look at places that are old, like New York, New Orleans, a lot of these places that it's like they have some dark fucking history.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like when it's like you
Certain
scratch the surface
buildings.
of that, and you're like, wow, like no wonder, like that would have to like leave a scar like in this.
See, I've always wanted to do one of those ghost hunter adventure deals type of
They
thing.
do one at the old prison here. I want to do. They do it once a year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
When
want to
is
sign
it?
up. It's in June. I want to sign up for
Ah,
it next
right
year.
around
we
the
just
corner.
missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't say.
sign up for it with me next year. We'll go. It's
Oh,
like
I'll
all
go
night.
with you. I'll go with you. That shit is one of those things where it's like, okay, I can, I mean, you're talking about a place that's manufacturing this, right? Once a year. So they have stuff set in place to
Probably.
make
Fuck
you
it.
really. Granted, it's an old actual penitentiary where a lot of people died, and there's a
Mhm.
hanging gallows in the motherfucker.
No, yeah.
Okay,
You walk
it's-
into some parts of that because I did the tour with my dad during the day,
Mm-hmm.
and you walk into some, you're like, fuck. You can kind of feel like bad shit went on here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a very like
Then you walk outside, you're
doomed
like, oh,
feeling.
nice,
Mhm.
airy.
Yeah, it absolutely
Ooh,
is.
We're not in
there's a
the
breeze.
we're not in the depressing building where it feels like you're being suffocated.
Yeah.
No, there's a hatch door in the old Idaho State Penitentiary. There's a hatch door in the concrete floor of the second floor, and they hung. I don't remember what the number is, the total
Oh, it
amount.
was a lot. I remember reading.
Yeah,
about
they
it.
hung a fuck ton of people in there. I guess they even hung people that they were just. It was like fuck them. They won't leave. Whatever, string them up, and the guards had hung people in that prison for no particular reason other than to get rid of them. So
Alcatraz is like that. I don't know if
I'm
any of you
sure
have been to
Alcatraz has a whole lot
Yeah.
more
Fucking go
shit to it.
Alcatraz. I remember going as a kid, and you could fucking feel like parts of like you go down into some parts of Alcatraz, and it's like fuck, it's kind of heavy in here. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Need some fresh air.
but in the Idaho State Pen, I mean there's enough like corner, like the way they have it built is fairly decent. To this day, most of the inner structure of it is still there, still solid. Even most of the outer structure is pretty solid. Now, I think we protect our actual prison, which is only like a 45-minute drive from that one.
Mm-hmm.
If that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. I mean, you go right up Broadway and bam, you're there. I mean, you can
Well, I mean,
one
it's out.
turn.
Heck, take him like 15 minutes to get there from his place, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's like 4 fences between them and freedom, so
Yeah.
you have to do some fucking work before you get anywhere.
Right.
This thing had a concrete wall with guard towers, which meant you climb that motherfucker and somebody sees you, you die.
Well, I was like, some of the parts of that wall are pretty fucking short. If I was in that prison, I could have gotten a bunch of people over that fucking wall. Sure, here you go.
Yeah, and that's where you get into that issue of, well, fuck, do we keep the tall ones in here?
Keep the tall
You
ones.
know,
Chop them off at the knee.
yeah, right. Cut him off. Cut his legs off. Gone.
Nope, send that one straight to the gallows.
He's
He's
now
too tall.
stubby.
He's too tall.
Well, that's the thing is, before they got to the point where it was like, oh, okay, we're going to take actions to deal with this prisoner because of who they are, what they are, or how tall or short or whatever, they just hang you.
Yep.
Man, fuck it. We don't have the resources.
Yeah.
Hang him. And so the number here is fairly decent. And there's a lot of people, like they did I can't remember who it is, but somebody did like a Valentine's Day killing or some shit. Like she was the Black Widow type, whatever the fuck it is. And so they do a Valentine's Day tour that is all more dedicated to her. Because I guess she killed a bunch of people inside the prison once she got in and everything. And like you look at the tools and shit that they have in there, I'm like, yeah, no wonder people were dying in here. Because they have like fucking actual tools that they would let the prisoners play with. And it's like, yeah, great.
Play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could get where, and they did a Ghost Hunters deal here too in the Idaho State Pen. But I want to go to one of those places where it's like a legit thing where they're like, oh no, you can show up here on any given night and fucking God only knows what happens, Because either you're going to debunk the fact that it's haunted, right? By finding whatever bullshit they're, launch a cup at you in the middle of the night, but somebody's going to trip up somewhere and shit's going to happen, right? You're going to have the right person at the right place at the right time, and the guy who owns the joint who's claiming it's haunted is going to run into you and fall on his ass, and he's got all this, either have shit that he's been throwing around the hotel or whatever. Yeah.
Thin piece of metal.
Exactly. Like a good Scooby-Doo, you're going to either figure it out or you're going to, walk out of there going, I don't know what the fuck happened. But I feel like that would be, I feel like it would be awesome to get one, like rent one of those hotels. It's like the whole hotel is haunted, right? Invite everybody in, pour a fuck ton of booze in them and see what happens.
I always want to state what's the boat that's haunted that they made into a hotel, and I think it's in San Diego.
I forget the one John Wayne.
Queen Mary.
I don't know.
The one John Wayne is supposedly.
I forget. I'd have to look it up. I think it's the
one that John Wayne is haunting.
Someone in the chat probably will fucking say.
But I think we're thinking of the same one. But there's there's a boat that supposedly John Wayne frequently makes some appearances at.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a hotel now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Queen Mary in Long Beach. It's a big ass boat, and they made it. It's parked there permanently, and they made it into a hotel, and it's supposed to be really haunted. I want to stay in it.
See, I don't really have a desire to stay somewhere like that.
Just wanted just to say I have.
I more or less want to debunk the shit or figure out if I can't trust myself in the dark anymore.
Happened. I had a good night's rest. It was a nice hotel.
No way.
Stayed there for 2 more nights. Slept like a baby.
Slept like a baby.
So I remember whenever it was 2 years ago now, whereas doing a road trip through Oregon with the family. There's a town on the coast called Florence.
Yep.
I love the town.
Florence, Oregon?
Florence is pretty cool.
When I said I was doing my road trip through Oregon, I meant Florence, Washington.
I don't fucking know. I didn't hear the first part where you were at.
I meant Florence, New York.
Pretty nice.
It is. Like, I really like the town.
I've stopped and eaten there.
And but apparently the lighthouse there is haunted. And I didn't know that actually when I was there. It wasn't until afterwards that I was again listening to a folklore podcast that he describes it. And supposedly like a lady in white will frequently make appearances. And the story goes that something like a gal there, like her child died or whatever, so she like lingers there.
Typical ghost story.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just then I was because I was there. Like I went to the lighthouse and everything. And I was like, it's like I could have had a paranormal experience.
You could have, but nothing happened.
I could have, yeah.
I don't know how this turned into a paranormal podcast, but it was kind of fun.
Well, and I think I've talked about this before. There's a hotel in Lewistown, Montana, and we stayed there while we worked on the Albertsons. I'm kind of a sadistic fucker, and so we rigged up this little girl on a broomstick because that was the whole thing, is this little girl haunts the hallways looking for her mom or some shit. I don't fucking remember the story, but we're in construction, we're hammered most of the time, and then we're at work the other chunk of time, and so ultimately, it was like, fuck it. I'm in this town. We stay here, for 5 days. We go home for 2, come back for 5. And it's like, we're going to do this for like 4 months and then we'll be gone, right? So I'm going to terrorize this hotel. Well, we put this little girl on a broomstick and would ease her out into the hallway when it was late. And people would turn the corner and see this little girl just standing there in a little fucking dress and shit, all dark hair and like white dress and stuff. And we would fuck people up pretty good. And at one point in time, we scared somebody, and we ended up putting this doll figure thing on a fucking RC car and running her around the hotel, scaring the fuck out of people. Somewhere along the line, I was headed back to the room, and I could have swore to God I seen the fucking RC car. But I turned back around and I'm like, why the fuck are you trying to scare me? I know the gig. And my buddy on the radio was like, what are you talking about? The fucking RC car hasn't moved. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I was like, great. And I went back to the hotel room, and granted, where the hotel room was from where I was, he would have had to hot rodded that motherfucker by the pool and everything to get to the actual room. I got there, everything was cold. I picked up the RC car. I was like, fuck you, you're trying. And I like grabbed the bottom of the fucking battery pack and everything's cold. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking not cool.
That's what you get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the ghost was
and
like, you guys can't try to take my gig from me?
yeah,
Not
right?
today, motherfucker.
You motherfuckers. No, so we did that, and it was great. We scared the fuck out of a lot of people, but
But then
It
Brock
just-
got scared.
it's just, no, actually, we played that shit all the way out.
Brock's like, yeah, fuck you, ghost.
Yeah, no, we played that shit all the way out, even though I had issues with it after the fact. I was like, fuck it, we're this far, we have to. And they shut the bar down at normal closing hours, because normally the bar and they run a regulation hours or whatever, right? Anybody walks through there and catches a bartender, he's not gonna fucking tell you no. But you run that fucking little RC car scary ghost girl through there, that bartender didn't tell you to fuck her at all. he was all up in arms about it, because he claims that he had seen her and then whoever else haunts this hotel. He claimed, fuck you, I've seen them. The second it gets dark, I want the fuck out of this place. But it's well lit from the bar to the parking lot where he parks, and he only parks there because if he doesn't get to park there, he doesn't come to work that day. And so it's like well lit for him to get out to his car, get in his car, and go the fuck home. And I was just like, if I felt like that, I would probably not work there.
Right?
Like, it's Montana. There's plenty of other fucking bars. In the one fucking town, there's 3. And I mean, granted, the population can't be much more than fucking 1,000, but there's 3 bars. So it's like, go get a new job, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand that. Like, if you were legit that afraid of where you work, like you,
Yeah, well,
like,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't.
There's a place where they claim Hell's Gate is in the basement. I don't know. It's
Mm.
another one of them ghost hunter deals, right? I've watched a bunch of them because I think it's funny. These guys and their pageantry
Funny.
shit.
Right.
Because most of their shit is just trash. It's publicized. It's the same thing as the fucking Bigfoot hunters and shit like that, right?
The Bigfoot. How fucking big that thing. Bigfoot is big here in Idaho. I moved here and I have never seen so
I was
many
like, wait a minute,
fucking-
isn't the
it's
normal
even-
size Bigfoot?
No, like-
I
no,
was
like,
wait a minute,
Everybody
what?
is obsessed with Bigfoot here. There are so many Bigfoot stickers
Okay.
and
Check. Okay, Washington and Oregon are even
Oh,
worse though.
huge.
but I didn't
And
realize.
then go over
it was
towards
such a-
Montana, Wyoming,
well, then go over towards like the Appalachian Mountains.
back east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have fucking states that have their own wild animal beast thing that
Well,
nobody's
evidently,
seen.
Oh yeah.
no, evidently Idaho has their own. It's a fucking lake monster or something. I forget
No.
where it's at. No, they do.
No, yeah, I forget what it is, but I've heard of it too.
Idaho
In
has a lake
Pine-
monster or something.
No, it's not a lake monster.
No.
Well,
telling you.
What I've been told of is in Idaho, if you are the only person, if you're the last person in a certain lodge's hot springs pool at midnight, has to be at midnight. You have to be by yourself. All of those creatures will come down and hang out they come down into that hot springs lodge pool. Like that's the thing. Now, I don't know how many hippies got fucked up on all kinds of drugs and figured this out, but that is the old time urban legend of Idaho is that this one hot springs.
Let's Google this, Brody.
I
Nope.
mean, you may have some other thing
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're
Like I
talking
said,
about,
I
but
feel like I've heard what he's talking about. I can't recall where.
I've been in most of the water.
Charlie.
In Idaho.
Your guys' lake monster is
Yeah.
called Charlie. Payette Lake. Payette.
In the Payette Lake.
I don't know how you guys pronounce it. Fuck.
Pay it.
Payette.
Payette Lake. I explained this to you like this week.
Near McCall.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Charlie. Charlie the lake monster.
Whatever. We'll go find it one of these times.
Yeah, yeah.
Go fishing.
If that's the case, then how come nobody's brought it up ice fishing?
I don't know. I'm just telling you. What I
Because
fucking heard.
your holes
But I also-
that big. And,
The hole's too little
But-
to get Charlie the lake monster
But
out.
I couldn't believe how many fucking people like are really into the Bigfoot thing here. I
well,
was shocked.
Yeah,
sounds
go
like
to
you need
Oregon.
Get on board.
Yeah, I actually do have a Bigfoot hanging
One
from
of
my.
us.
But just because it's an
One
air
of us.
freshener, I was like, "Oh, look, Bigfoot air freshener. I'll buy that."
Yeah, he's got the sticker on his back window, too.
No, I don't. I have a Bigfoot.
What's the one on your back window?
I don't know. I got a gun ones on the back window,
Yeah,
but I got Bigfoot hanging from my rear view.
yeah. But I mean, I know people who are like 100% adamant that they've seen Bigfoot. Like they cannot be shaken, or talked down from it. They're like, no, I know what I've fucking seen,
Yeah.
and they are.
Like, no, dude, you
Like,
saw a bear.
That
walking
is
around
their
on
hill to
back
die
legs.
on. Is that they've seen Bigfoot.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. The Bigfoot thing is huge. And like Dave said, you go Oregon or Washington, it gets even bigger, especially if you're in like a rural town.
It's like it's the Cascades is the big thing.
Yeah.
It's like just the mountains through there. That it's like the sightings, the everything is
Mhm.
just like way more.
I'll be sticking to the sawtooth, son.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if,
We've done rednecks, man.
but
They're scarier than any Bigfoot. I'm going to tell you that right now.
yeah, but Montana is really big on it too.
Thanks.
You picked up your glass like you
I was
needed
just
something
looking.
to pour in it.
No, I gotta drive home. Well, that was
One
a good,
shot of whiskey
How
will
long
fuck
did
you
that
up.
take us up?
12 minutes.
57 minutes. You
See?
still got a while to go.
Fuck, more ghost stories. No, just joking.
More ghost
Okay.
stories. No, I'm still though. I would be totally legit. I want to go do some of these ghost things
Oh, I do.
because, and you can't take. I couldn't take the wife with me because she'll either A, be scared and latch to my side all night, or she's gonna be the one who's like, and I'm gonna be like, shit. We are in the dark. You cannot grab a hold of that right now. Fuck, I just shit my pants thinking Casper give me a handy. But
No, I would definitely be down for some of those ghost tours.
See,
I think we should do a
Mm.
podcast run. Anybody that wants to go that's been on the
Yeah.
podcast and we just
Yeah.
go do some of this shit.
But I 100% agree with Brock that it's like it has to be somewhere that isn't like a tourist trap.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
be
well, I mean,
like-
there's like,
Be like a place that's a known or a
Believe-
known location. Blah blah blah.
but you can just go.
But you can
and
just
explore.
go. I mean, because otherwise, again, it could be all just part of a
Show.
show.
Yeah. There's a couple places
Yeah.
here in Idaho that they claim to be
Isn't
haunted.
there like a murder house in Boise somewhere?
There's some
I don't
older town,
remember.
like buildings in Nampa evidently that are haunted.
Most of Nampa is haunted
Most
just
of
because
Nampa.
it's fucking horrible.
Well,
up
that's
there.
that's going back to the story with Matt and his daughter.
Yeah.
Again, our friend, the
Your
medium,
brother.
but she's like she's like, oh no, she's like the neighborhood that they're in. She's like is like
Super bad.
super. She's like, there's a lot of spirits and stuff kind of roaming in that area.
We used to live just on the outskirts of the fucking historical district in
Mhm.
Caldwell, and historical district houses every 2 years on the dot. Every 2 years on the dot, they get sold. And it was like, okay, I mean, I could understand if it was a shitty place to live or whatever. And yeah, there's some decent crime in that area, but at the same point in time, it's like you're still allowed to protect your stuff, your house, all that shit. That's not the kind of problems they were having. They were having stolen shit out of cars or vandalism. You know, the normal shit you deal with. It was just a little bit more aggressive there because you could hide in the trees in the in the historical district. Nobody's house is the same, so when you drive by it, who knows what fuck all is in the driveway? So you don't know. Like nowadays, the cops can drive through a fucking subdivision and yep, that one little thing is just out of place, and it's like, okay, somebody's been here, and they can fucking track it down. Well, in the historical district, fuck no, you can't do that. Every tree is different. There's a shit ton of darkness in there. There's no fucking lights because it's a historical district. They don't replace any of that shit with the updated stuff. So you'd have all kinds of issues, but at the same point in time, you have people who buy this house. They love this house. It's this cute little house with the picket fence and all the stuff and the nice little garage. And 2 years later, they're fucking like, nope, fuck this place. I'm out. And you could tell months prior to them leaving because fucking shit was packed up. They were never home. And then all of a sudden there was a for sale sign. I was like, oh shit. So we just lived like just outside of that. And what I could tell you is walking through those neighborhoods in the middle of the night, whether we go to the gas station or the grocery store or whatever, or like in years before I lived out there, I worked on the Albertsons parking lot that was out there. I repainted the whole thing. In the middle of the night, there was some gangbanger bullshit happen, and I ended up having to call the police, and they showed them. They're like, "You're not fucking painting this parking lot at night. Go home. Get the fuck out." I'm like, "No, I'm contracted." They're like, "It doesn't fucking matter. Go home." Because yes, there's some gangbanger bullshit that happens out there. But sometimes you're walking down the sidewalk and shit just gets creepy. Nobody around, no animals around.
Quiet.
It's quiet. And it's just fucking creepy. And you can't explain it. You can't.
Unsettling.
There's nothing happens. It's fucking wrong.
Well, hell, yeah, even Idaho, granted, nothing was really, we'll say, settled until it was like the early 1800s, whatever. But we're still talking that a lot of these communities around here still had people around for the last 200 years, to where that's plenty of time for trauma.
Oh yeah,
like in certain cities and neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, if you want to feel like you're big and tough, you walk right down the middle of the historical district in Caldwell. Ain't nobody in there to beat up, but you're gonna be worried about having to attack something as it comes at you. You just don't know what the fuck it's gonna be. But yeah, I mean, it was bad, and like even now more so here. I don't know, this house in particular. Not that I feel anything's with us, but apparently everybody else seems to think somebody else lives here. I'm like,
what do you mean everybody else? Like
my family, all the rest of the family feels like
Gotcha.
there's something going on here it's like, I don't know, we fucking live here.
Thanks, Dave.
Back to the romances.
I mean, granted, I've only been here a few times, but
I feel like it would be fun to go to one of these places. Well, and again, Idaho has like 4 or 5 of these fairly well-known haunted structures, but I feel like it would be great to go to one of these places and just be fucking goof all night long. Like try to block it all out and just be as fucking disrespectful as possible to see what fucking happens.
What we piss off.
Exactly.
piss off.
To a point
of fucking scream.
To a point.
Right in the
That's
middle of
called
fucking
a
night, like,
hubris,
"All
and
right."
it usually gets you in trouble.
It's like, all right, well, that was fun while it lasted. It's time to get the fuck out of here.
It's like then a fire mysteriously starts and the door is locked and we all die with you. Good job.
Then we're just a story.
Yeah.
Or four men went to a historical site to do a ghost adventure thing in the middle of the night. Ended up not making it through the night. He died in a fire in the building. No one knows what
Died in
happened
a
to
fire in the building that never happened, but his ass was burnt. That would be see, that's the best part of this. You go in and you do all this shit, you block it all out, right? At a certain point, something has to happen to make you realize you've been blocking it out, but this is unmistakable. Right? Like this is you can't disprove this. Right? Because you're so blocking it out. You've mentally so blocked it out that nothing can happen, right? And then all of a sudden a fucking axe comes flying out of nowhere from one wall to another, and you're just like, okay, don't know who did that, but I'm gonna leave. They obviously do not like reggae music or whatever the fuck it is you're doing, They don't like
It's like
techno. We're leaving now.
reggae music.
Try to learn
I
the
know
history
what that's referencing.
as much as possible, and like the history of the individuals who supposedly haunt it, like as much as possible, so that way like
What
What
to
to
piss
do?
them off?
it's like
Oh,
they
yeah.
they died by like let's say maybe it was an axe murder, so you like bring in an axe like just to like
bring
you,
in an
place it.
axe?
Wait, you think you're so tough because you
You just
used one
start
of
chopping
these?
wood in the front yard at midnight.
Yeah. Just whatever you
Just
think you
talking
can do to
shit.
like
Like, oh, you were so
Set
weak,
it
you
off.
had to use one of these, huh? Fucking loser.
Oh, you were so slow that you got caught by a fucking axe man. Wow, fucking piss him off. I don't think I would want to do that, more so just because I wouldn't want to get accidentally murdered with an axe. I'd be like, we don't know what happened, but there was 4 guys went into a hotel and 3 came out. One had an axe and it's stuck in his skull,
And swears he doesn't remember what happened, even though he was covered in blood.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. To me, it would be it would be fucking cool to go do this and see what kind of what kind of shit would happen that you couldn't deny.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like most people who don't end up not experiencing a lot. And you look at all these like paranormal investigators, like their shows and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and they're like
ghost hunters.
yeah, and then they're like, did I hear something? But and then it's like just like nothingness, like the whole episode, and it's like it's a big fucking waste of time.
Here's my best. This is my favorite.
Like nothing happened at all.
This is my favorite. Oh, we caught it on EPVD, whatever fucking voice, whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Electronic voice.
And you hear, and it's like all you hear is this. And you're like, he said Jesus. Yeah. Or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Get out. And it was like, and you're like, oh, that sounds like somebody could have pissed off the neighbor cat. You know? And,
Right.
Like you guys got a little too close
Yeah,
to little
that's-
pussycat. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's something I hated about watching shows like that, where it's like that like it's just
That's debunkable right there in the
Yes.
show.
and it's like or that if you heard a noise or again or what they
Yeah.
felt like was someone speaking, like even if it was or whatever, it's like that could be anything, like is like just a noise.
It could be
Like,
someone
Yeah.
behind the camera fucking whispering.
Farted.
Like,
yeah.
There's some guy back there. They turn. Oh, did you hear that? And it's like, yeah, I heard your cameraman say something into the speaker. You're right.
Yeah. So that's all bullshit.
There was one the ghost hunter guy, and they went into this. I don't know, this fucking mansion that's haunted or insane asylum or whatever, and they claim that the Hell's Gates are in the basement of this place and whatever, and he like goes in there, and he comes out and he's got these 3 scratches on his back, and I'm like, yeah, of course. As soon as he stepped in to that room, there was a fucking camera guy in there with one of them little rakes, and he just went, "You're good, Joe. Get out of here," and fucking runs out, and he's like, ah. my arm, and he's like holding his
You know, it's
shoulder
like
and shit.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past anyone for like ratings and other
Oh, yeah.
shit that to be like, okay, it's like if I got to get cut to like
Oh yeah,
to sell this or whatever,
something like that. Especially if you could do it in a way that didn't cause him an
Isn't
infection,
actually,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's not running by a doorway and just shoulder checking it to get a big old gouge on a rusty nail. Yeah, I could, he runs into a dark room and the camera's doing this numbered back and forth because nobody can hold a fucking camera straight to save their fucking life in these things.
Right.
And, the cameraman or actor number 5 reaches out with something and cuts him real quick, I could see that. But if I was standing there and something, I was like, what the fuck is that? And a glass bottle hit me in the forehead, I'd be like, well, I don't care what anybody thinks, but I believe now.
But yeah, you'd have, like he said, you'd have to go somewhere where they don't.
Where they don't try to like force you, where they don't use it as an attraction.
Yeah.
I think there's like a haunted town in like Death Valley in California.
Well, that wouldn't surprise
It doesn't have.
I was say.
It's called Death Valley because it gets hot as fuck and people die in the heat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've been to Fort Irwin. It's not fun.
but evidently this town doesn't have electricity, and there's been many people that like go to that town, this ghost town, out in Death Valley at night, and like lights will turn on in houses, but there's no way because there's no electricity running into this town anymore.
Yeah, battery operated dingbats that fucking see you coming.
No, it'd be like light bulbs like turn on that are still plugged in and shit. There's just stories that from fucking that town, okay?
I was just saying,
I've witnessed it.
I can debunk this with a certain battery pack I have and the lights that go along with it. They look like fucking light bulbs. And they work like them too. But I mean, that's again, these are the things that you run into. You're like, oh yeah, because the guy over there trying to start the generator before we go into this place is, that's okay, cool. I mean, and they set up. I think one of the, like I said, the whole voice thing, right? I can't remember what the song is, but they play a song just in a meme video or something on Facebook. They play a song, but they run the words across the screen. Totally not the fucking words to the song. They fit perfectly, but because you read them, that's what you heard.
Hmm.
So it's like you're not actually listening to the song. You're not trusting your hearing. You're more trusting your eyes. And so they put the different words on there, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Like, Allie, have you tested those? Do you remember the Yanny and Laurel
Yeah,
thing?
Yanny and Laurel.
You think about whatever you want it to fucking sound like, and it
Well,
sounds like that.
not that one, because I've only ever heard. I've tested this
I can
several
make it
times
switch.
over the year. I can't,
I don't know.
but several
which one
times
I-
over the year, it's always been Yanny. But then there's another one that was something like Green Needle
Yes.
and some other word, and just depending on what you were listening for is what you would hear.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing with
Yeah.
this song thing. Is they
So
everybody knows the words to the song, whatever the song was, but you as the song goes on, it's like it lists them out and writes them out. So you read it and you're like, I didn't know the words to that song. Well, then they change them and it still fits perfect, and you still hear the same thing, and it's like, holy fuck, I don't know what to do with
it's
my life now.
it's really interesting to show how your brain is processing information that it's
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Well, and that goes back to the whole with kids,
Yeah.
typically they see things that could be they're processing things to be something that they're totally not, where they think they're seeing stuff.
Well, and again, too, you have to remember as adults, we've blocked out a lot of things, right? We've all been through trauma of some kind, and we tend to block out the things that or deal with them differently, and so our minds have been jaded, right, to this whole situation, because as we've grown up, there's no ghosts in this house, go the fuck back to bed, right? Or whatever, whether it be we stepped out into the hallway and it was like, I don't know, I don't see it now, Maybe whatever. It had to be nothing, right? Or anything like that. Then you get to the point where it's like now you're as an adult, you feel like something's there, and you're like, ain't no fucking such thing as a ghost. And you flip on the light and turn around, and you're like, if there was a fucking ghost, it'd still fucking be here. Shut the light off and away you go. You build that mental brick wall between your brain and that, where kids don't have that. Kids are completely uncut. Literally had my child ask me why this black guy in the store the other day was black and not white. Well, it's just the pigment of his skin. I didn't want to turn her into the immediate racist, and but it was like,
yeah, give it some time.
That's
before you.
Yeah, right. Let's spread that out. We'll just spread it out. It'll work perfectly. But that's what I told her. I was like, I don't know. This is how people are made. People are different, and I then had to apologize to him for her being so blunt. He's like, "No, I get it, man," and he had his own kid, and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
And that's when his kid. Why are they white?
Why are they
Right.
white?
Well, I remember Betty White. Her husband was black,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember seeing him on TV somewhere, and I was just like, why is she married to a black guy? My mom is like,
All right, Dave.
she's like, she's like, that's just.
Wait a minute. Why did this happen?
I mean, it wasn't like I was outraged, but I was like, I was
You're
like,
like, I didn't
I
know
was
we
like-
could do that.
Wait a minute. Is this okay?
yeah, for real.
I didn't know.
She's like, yeah, that's
See,
her
that's
husband.
the other thing about growing up in Idaho is there's so much in what you learn outside of school. Now, I'm a dumbass when it comes to anything intelligent, reading, writing, arithmetic, all that shit. When it comes to fixing a New Holland 430 baler, I got you.
Comes to paperclip in the truck.
Paper clipping a
Yeah.
fucking GMC
Yeah,
or
which is still
Chevrolet
paperclip, by the way.
1500.
Still paperclip.
Yeah. I mean that's where it's at. Maybe I'm not as smart as all these people coming in who are like, oh my god, Idaho education is fucking shit. Yeah, that's great. Did you get from point A to point B today? Yeah. Thank a redneck.
Thank a
It's
redneck.
like thank an Idahoan. We got you there. It's just but you kind of run into that. So, I don't
True.
know.
I mean, I would say when I was younger, I didn't appreciate like a lot of the blue collar workers. Where my dad for the longest time did like auto body and stuff, and I was like, doesn't take a fucking genius to do that. But then it's like you kind of learn. I'm like, well, it's like
It takes a lot of
there's a
skill
lot
to do
of
that job.
more skill and stuff involved in this kind of stuff.
Mechanical brain.
And these guys like mechanics and a lot of people who do a lot of like blue collar like hard work like that are not dumb like at all. I mean,
Yeah.
you are, but
Thanks. Appreciate it.
No, but their
Glad
brain's
you
just
noticed.
wired
But
towards
they-
more mechanical.
yeah, it's like, but like I said, but I've thought about that again when I was younger. Like
Green
But my
Needle and
dad-
Brainstorm.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, you're right. Redneck
No, but I can do
ASMR.
the Yanny Laurel one. I can make it switch.
oh,
back
that
and
one I
forth.
can't do.
Laurel's a little harder than Yanny, but I can get it to switch.
Yeah, but like
I
Matt
don't-
would
I
always
don't-
hear Laurel, and I always
I always
heard
hear
Yanny.
whatever the one it like if they play it off, and I'm like, this one, like this is what I hear, and everybody's like, see, I always hear the other thing, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're
No,
like,
I-
oh, it says
I
this or
found
that.
If you focus on the word that you want to hear, that's what you're gonna fucking hear.
Yeah,
haven't
I
really
feel
tried,
like
though.
I feel like the best test you can do is when you just walk up and play something for somebody, and
What do you hear?
exactly.
Yeah.
What'd you hear? I heard I'll kill you in your sleep. Whoa!
Well, that wasn't even one of the options.
It was supposed to be Laurel or Yanny. You're like, oh, okay.
I heard you're a fucking dumbass. Why are you making me listen to this? What? The clip wasn't even that long.
There's not even enough syllables in this bitch for that.
Mhm.
No, the whole hearing test and like throwing everything off, right? But at the same point in time, if I walk through a place and you blindfold me, I can damn near walk through it, backwards or forwards, or it doesn't matter. I can damn near almost pinpoint the same route that I took through there the first time. I'm told this is a trauma response, but I just feel like it's
Trauma
a
response.
fucking.
this is
It's
part
my
of my
brain
childhood.
picturing what the room looks like when I walked through it the first time. Right? And mine just happens to be better focused on that type of thing than somebody else's brain. Right? So somebody else who doesn't have this apparent fucking superpower walks through a house, blindfold them, send them through it again, stub their fucking toe on everything. I feel like for me, I've stubbed my fucking toe enough times that I'm like, nope, I'm gonna fucking mentally picture this room to the point where I'm never gonna stub my toe in here again. But you can blindfold me, I can walk through a fucking house. Well, that's fucking weird. And I'm like, I don't think it's weird, but I can guarantee you my toes don't fucking hurt. Like that, I think for me.
I
But
set
they
my
always tell you,
toes
oh,
with
that's
my
a
eyes
trauma
open, so-
response.
Yeah. In my own house.
No, but like I can do the thing where I drive to a place once I've never been to, and then
I
Remember how to get there?
exactly how to get there. From
I can
then
do
on.
that.
But I met tons of people like, oh, yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I was like, what are you talking about? We've been there like 6 times. Yeah, I don't remember. What the fuck do you mean?
Oh yeah, no. It may take 1 or 2 times, but I'll remember it at some point in time. I'm not gonna forget, how to get to wherever. California's traffic is a touch more excitable than Idaho's. So yes, I've been known to be like, what fucking exit do we need to get? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
different.
I guess I don't know. I guess I get that skill from growing up there, is being able to
Probably.
drive once to somewhere and be like, yep, I know how to get there.
Yeah. Well, how many times did it take you to figure out where I lived?
Once.
So
I followed directions once your house. I've found my way here every time since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yep.
Yeah.
Like I remember in high school, got a buddy, he moved into a house that was like off a Park Center. I don't know if you're familiar with that
fucking
area.
Park Center,
But it's like
a
winding,
mess of shit.
and it's it is the epitome of like suburban sprawl of like turning in here to turning here to turning there, and then this little subdivision and all this shit. Like
it's
it's
the
super,
mouse in the
yeah, it's a
maze.
maze. But even instead of one buddy, like after the first time getting to his place, I was able to find him, or I was able to. I remembered just how to get there after that, and he's like, "I live here, and I don't even remember." Look, like he's like, I still have to look it up sometimes. I was like, I don't know.
For me, it's the I may be off a house or two, but the second time I show up, I'm going to be pretty dialed in. It's the third time that I fuck up. That's what I'm like. Oh yeah, because I start to get a little bit comfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to go left, left, right, left, straight, mile left, and then I'm like, wait a minute, maybe it was left, straight for a mile, then right.
Like
I don't
second
fuck.
guessing
Nah,
yourself.
then you're like, fuck, I got to type it in again. But normally, yeah, 1 or 2 times, and like I said, the second time I may be off by a house or two, but mentally you can picture what scenario you're going through. I think the only time I get to the point where I can't remember any of that shit is I'm just zoned out driving through the woods. That's when I'll fucking forget and be like, god damn it, well, I better turn around and start thinking about how the fuck I'm gonna get out of here.
Yep.
No,
I think
another thing that surprises me is people that don't know north, south, east, west.
Right.
Like
you mean
I'll
it's
tell
not north, south, east, west?
Also, like, oh, you got to go west. Well, which way's west? You don't. What do you mean? Which way's
What?
west? You don't know which
Yeah.
way the ocean is?
You do it.
I was like, if every sign blew
Whoa,
up, would you not
whoa,
know?
hold on, that's bullshit. Because in the U.S., there's an
The West
ocean at
Coast,
both
though,
ends.
The West Coast. is
Well,
what I'm
we're on
getting
a globe, so the ocean is in any
at.
direction.
That's true. But
That's
the
true.
West Coast is what I'm getting at. You don't know which way the West Coast is, or you don't know which way fucking north
Yeah,
is.
in the basement of the house, I can tell you it's that way.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's the other thing. They get inside of a building, totally fucked. Like what? No. Think about what door you came in. Well, I don't know where that is. And they start to panic because you just asked them a question. No, hold on. West is that way. It's because you got to settle them down now.
Ugh. Yeah, it still cracks me up. I don't know if I already told one or both of you, but the one gal at work, the customer who I was trying to show her a part diagram, and she's like, "I can't read that." And I'm like, "But you have eyes, right? That like is this what is this part what you're looking for?"
Oh, they're a fucking picture book.
Yeah. It's like it's pictures. It's like it's not some secret language. Like just like
Does
is
this
this
look
it?
somewhat like the piece that you're
Yeah.
missing?
She's
Yeah.
like, she's just like, I don't read diagrams.
This is
She's
a
like-
picture matching game, lady.
Yeah.
We learned this in preschool.
I'm like, it's just like a
Does
geo
this shape match this other
Yeah.
shape?
Yeah.
This is Idaho, first grade, not
Yeah,
preschool.
sorry. You ever
Yeah,
play the matching game as a kid?
Right?
but I was like,
think you can get through this.
yeah,
I believe in you.
it was tough.
What'd
for
you end up
me.
having to do? Just
Didn't her
search-
husband
well,
have to?
oh yeah,
fucking get
so then I
involved?
basically Google what?
Didn't her husband get, or is that what
No,
this
that's
different
something
one?
else. But I Google searched a part and brought up an image to be like, is that what you're looking for? And she's like, yeah, that looks like it. And I'm like, and I'm just like, it was tough to not be a smartass, to be like, you have fucking eyes, right? That you can like match, like,
Is this the general area that it came out of? Does the shape of this match kind of what you're looking for?
right.
yeah,
I think we might have a winner here.
It's kind of fun though too, in that whole scenario because you can like kind of learn what you can get away with and what you can't.
I don't know.
RV parts is great. They come in and they're like, "Yeah, I need a drawer latch," and they rattle off the fucking make, model, serial number of the fucking trailer, and you're like, "Yeah, that's cool." Does it look like this? Well, I didn't look at it.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, it either looks like this or this, and they're like, "Well, which one would they put in this?" I
Either
don't
one.
know. Maybe this.
Either one, yeah.
Maybe this.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Power sports is a little bit different because you can always, they're always like, yeah, I need this, right? They tell you whatever it is. I need a carburetor. I need a brake master cylinder. I need whatever. The ones that get me are the ones who are so fucking rich that they don't know what they broke because the mechanic just wrote down on the fucking piece of paper, you need tie rod ends and ball
Right.
joints or whatever, you know. So they hand it to you and you're like, so what did you actually break? I don't know.
It's written down right there.
Okay.
Okay, but there's fucking 6 tie rods. What do you want?
Uh-huh, yeah. Like which
Yeah.
which
It's like,
fucking
do-
one?
Yeah. It's like, do you need like the front, like
I need an
control
A arm.
arms? Yeah. Yeah.
Which arm? What do you mean? Well, is it a upper, lower, and what side? So is it a left, lower, right, lower?
I've had someone do this.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
They did
that
the L thing?
left. I was like, oh my god. Okay. Left it is.
No, I had some lady try to tell me that her push button start broke, and I was like, push button start, because the unit she told me about was not a push button start, and I'm like, do you have an aftermarket like ignition switch on this thing? Like, do you have it hokey
I don't know, I
pokey to
bought it
where it
this
has
way.
a switch and a button? And she's like, what do you mean hokey pokey? And I'm like, is it Jimmy rigged? And she's like, my shit's not Jimmy at all. And I'm like, did a redneck fix this for you at one point in time or another? No, it's stock and my button is broken. And I'm like, okay, lady, let's look into it. And I like bring everything up. And at some certain point in time or another, and I asked her, I said, did you buy it used or did you buy it new? Well, she bought it used. But what she's talking about is push button is when the key hits the ignition port and then turns. And it's that like resistance. She's calling that the push button. And I'm like, so you need a fucking ignition switch and a key. Well, I don't. It's the thing that you push the thing and it turns and it goes. And I'm like, wait a minute. And it turns. And she goes, well, yeah, clockwise. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, I'll have the parts on Friday. Just come back in and pick them up. I was like, I knew exactly what she needed, but it was like pulling fucking teeth out of a wild boar to get to that point. I've never had anybody do this.
Oh, I have. I've had
I've had some stupid shit.
I've had people do it. Multiple people do it in front of me. I've had people ask me what 10 times 10 is. And I gave them a look like, are you kidding me? How did we make it this far in life?
That's okay. It's the 79 Winnebago guy. Oh, give me one of them palm trees up there. That'll really give me some putty.
That dude. Yeah.
People like that with the fucking what's 10 times 10, haven't put their hands up.
They made me
no
shit
left
it
or
on
right.
myself.
I was like, please do not reproduce.
Please don't. Yeah.
That's where you almost want to just like, they go to stick their hands out like this and you just chop them. No, stop. We are not in service.
We're learning today.
Do not make me look like an idiot
Sit
right
down
now.
like the little child you are. We're gonna learn our left from our right today without
That's why
having to throw our
it
hands up.
almost feels like more and more like idiocracy is like inevitable.
Oh yeah, I love the guys. So, and this is funny too because the guys who buy these bikes are normally pretty smart cats, but the BMW adventure bike guys or just adventure bike guys in themselves, and you're standing on the floor and they start asking you questions about mesh jackets and leather jackets and everything, and you're like, you really couldn't tell me that leather was going to be hotter than mesh? Like, what in the fuck? It's like, wait a minute, you make how much money a year because you obviously bought this bike and you just toss money at it like there's no fucking problem. Like,
Right.
you're either digging up a gold mine that no one knows about, or you're smart at some point in time, or someplace there's something. But you can't tell me that mesh is going to be colder than leather. It's like, all right, cool. We're about to make some fucking money.
So much. It's leather. It's breathable.
Yeah. Common sense is not so common.
Yeah.
Common sense is not so common. And common sense isn't always fucking right as well.
I don't know.
Someone-
I feel like
one
common sense is
person's-
pretty right.
One person's common sense could not be fucking common sense.
Yeah.
What is that? Well, common sense tells me to touch it and smell it. Oh, well, I'm glad you just picked up the dog turd that was on the sidewalk. Can you throw it in the grass, please?
It looks like your common sense is a little broken. Hi, short and fluffy. Hello. There, I responded to you. Now leave me alone.
Oh, quit. Quit being a Debbie Downer.
Everyone bullies me, okay? Your viewers bully me, and I'm not gonna put up with it
Viewers don't bully you. They love you. They
At
love
least-
teasing the shit out of you, too.
At least you get
anymore.
some
That's bullying
attention.
me, huh?
So at least you get some attention.
Yeah, bully Dave. He feels left out.
Yeah.
Tell Dave he's a little bastard.
Yeah. I just won't bitch about it like Brody.
Bitch and Brody. That's my
Bitch-
new name.
Bitchin' Brody.
Bitchin' Briscoe Kid.
Bitch and Briscoe Kid.
The bitchin' Briscoe. We could turn that into like a brisket sandwich.
That's a bitchin' Briscoe sandwich.
Here we
We
go.
call it the bitchin' Briscoe sandwich. Be brisket, barbecue sauce. Well, I don't know. How would you make your brisket sandwich?
Yeah, maybe salsa instead of
What
barbecue.
is with this dude and salsa?
Bakersfield. That's what happened to
No,
him.
not brisket. No.
I'm getting him a tri-tip sandwich, and he's
Tri-tip
like,
with salsa?
Yeah, and he's all pissed off
Tri-tip?
that there was mayo on the bread, and it wasn't even saturated. He's like, "Oh my god,
I
it's
fucking hate
soaked
mayo,
in
dude.
mayonnaise." I'm like, "What the fuck are
I'm
you
not a
talking
fan of
about?"
mayonnaise.
That was
If I get
lightly
mayonnaise,
touched.
That was not. If I get mayo, it has to be like the thinnest swipe of mayo in the world on that sandwich. I do not like mayo.
That's what it looked like.
It was not.
He's over here
That
all
was
upset,
cake.
picking all the meat off of it, and
That
he's
was
like, "I'm
caked on.
not enjoying lunch." I'm like, "Why?"
It
There's
wasn't Dave's
fucking
fault.
mayo on
I told him
everything.
no sauce, and mayo counts as a sauce.
I guess in my head, mayo just isn't.
Because I knew that I wouldn't.
It's standard
just
to a
fucking
fucking
normal.
sandwich. Yeah.
Dave, why don't you look at me during?
Because you look like a horse.
Are you talking to me or her?
Her.
Neither one of you have seen her face.
I don't know.
don't
I fucking. Anyway, back to the mayo. Fuck
Back to
mayo.
mayo.
Oh, I got over here. There, I picked on Dave.
Yeah. There you go.
No, you never had tri-tip sandwich with salsa on it.
No.
No,
You guys are missing out.
we're Americans.
We're American. Well, I will say this: is that I
I put salsa on
I-
a lot of shit.
I
Salsa's
love-
good on tri-tip.
love mango, and so I
Ah.
will frequently make mango salsa.
hate mango salsa
and,
unless
and
it's
I'll
on a
put
chip.
it on. I'll put it on steak and chicken and stuff like that. It's fucking awesome.
No, but if you put salsa on tri-tip, it's fucking good. Trust me.
I'm sure it is, but it's like you said it as if like it was natural.
It was. For what?
You said it like Dave thought of
Being
mayo.
around many sandwich shops back home puts tri-tip and salsa on a sandwich. It's like that's the go-to. If
Bro.
you don't do salsa,
Bro, we
then
talked
you do
about this
barbecue.
earlier. Okay, you moved to Idaho.
Mhm.
Let's not Californiaize Idaho.
I don't
Take
feel
your
like
shitty food habits and leave them the fucking
You know what?
Bakersfield.
Shitty food habits.
I don't feel like this is a shitty food habit. It's just because you haven't tried it.
I put salsa on a lot of things. My brisket sandwich,
Not
fuck
brisket.
no,
No, tri-tip.
fuck no. That is red meat.
I'm
It
getting you-
deserves barbecue sauce.
I'm getting you
Deserves.
tri-tip and I'm getting you salsa, and we're gonna try it, and you're gonna see how good it is. Trust me.
That was like I can't.
It's
do,
still not as good as barbecue sauce on tri-tip.
See, that is good too, but I'm gonna tell you the salsa is really good on tri-tip.
Still not as good as barbecue sauce.
Okay, I'm gonna
Therefore, why would I
beat
want to eat
fucking Brock's
anything
ass
that's
in
less
his
than
own
the best?
house, and he only has one arm that works properly.
Right, but I know where all the guns are hidden.
You won't make it up there.
I don't think you realize just how quick my fat ass is.
Dave, toaster strudel or cream pie? That's what I'm being told to ask you.
Oh my god, I just about made a huge mess.
cream pie.
Cream pie.
The little Debbie variety right
Yeah.
there, I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Well, there's both types in Little Debbie's.
I know.
There's
It
a
covers the whole
filling.
question.
Why not both?
It's true. I like to toaster strudel it up sometimes. See how Picasso I can get.
Oh, Picasso.
That's a work of art right there.
You're nasty.
Oh, shut up. That's what this whole fucking podcast is about being fucking nasty. Or at least it has been for the past 4 weeks. They try and make me throw up on the fucking...
I have not done any of this to you today.
That's true. Been actually...
Wait,
pleasant
how are
to
you
be
trying
around.
to make him throw up?
They talk
I haven't
about
done it.
nasty
I haven't
shit.
done it at all.
Okay, Casey brings up nasty shit to make me sick to my
About
stomach.
cheese whiz.
Is he
and
that
shit.
like queasy?
I'll start imagining things in my head when you start
Oh my
talking about
God.
nasty shit, and then I'll make myself sick to my stomach.
Will you help me lance a boil later?
Okay.
See, it's never me, and you only did this to yourself. You could have just let it ride for a whole
Let
nother
it
like
ride.
20 minutes. You'd have been just fine.
Yeah, we're done with
Prolapsed anus.
Fuck
Can we
off.
Take a look at that.
Have you ever seen
Howie
a
Mandel.
foreskin?
Posted that. Howie Mandel posted prolapse anus on fucking TikTok. It was nasty. He's like, "This is my friend," and it was a fucking
This is
picture.
my
It
friend.
seems very weird.
Everyone was pissed at him. They were like, "We will never forgive you, Howie," because it got taken down like 4 hours later. It took almost a whole 4 hours to find this prolapsed anus.
Right, but I say one wrong word, TikTok bounces me like a fucking hot rock. It's like,
But
The fuck?
on every video since, it's everybody saying, "We'll never forgive you for what you've done, Howie."
Howie in the anus.
It's a
That'd
weird
be
band.
good. Yeah, that'd be a good band name.
Howie in the anus.
It's just some big dude on stage playing bass guitar.
Pictures of prolapsed anuses behind him flashing.
Well, wasn't gonna go that far, but okay.
We went there.
Thanks for ruining
Together.
it, like you do everything, Bernie.
I ruin everything. I know. I fucking suck. We go over this every day.
Okay, settle down.
Never.
I still kind of curious about the knots you're tying in the fucking headset cord.
Daisy chaining
Though.
it.
I do the same thing.
Daisy
actually.
chaining it.
I've let it up, but
I'm weird. It can't touch me. It has to stay the fuck up out of my way. Casey will run it like you guys where it runs down your I can't do that shit for like gets me all. I
I
can't.
daisy chain it like I do my extension cords.
So incorrectly.
I know. Well, I can't do it correctly. It's too fucking small.
No, I meant daisy chaining in actual life on any extension cord is wrong.
What?
It's wrong. You should never daisy chain a fucking extension cord.
that is true.
This is right here. These are the base reasons why Californians should stay in California. Right here.
It takes up less space.
The fuck it does.
He's not talking about daisy chaining
Like
multiple.
no, it's like where you tie it so you can
Yes,
hang it.
I understand, sir. You are fucking up.
I don't give a fuck. Just
Give
buy
me
a
an
new one.
extension cord and I will fucking show you the correct way
I
to
can
do
do
it.
it the fucking this way. Fucking wrap it in a fucking loop.
No.
Are you
Oh,
as
dear
confused as
God.
I am on what I'm doing?
Yes, actually, because when I think daisy chaining, I'm actually thinking of like attaching multiple like extension cords and like
No, yeah, no. I'm just talking
power
about how
cords
you
together
tie it up
too,
so you
but-
which
can
is
hang
like
them.
no bueno.
No, that shit's wrong. You break a shit ton of wires and you actually make
Fuck
a
your
fucking.
wires.
It's not my extension
Well,
cord.
if
My
you want the
shit's hooked
cord
up
to
right.
work,
It works perfectly fine. Has been for years. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Well, it's fucking wrong. So stuff
You're
it.
fucking wrong because I learned it this way and this way's the right way.
It is the right way.
Fuck your
daisy
right way.
chain horse shit. Hey, fuck your Californian way. You go right the fuck
Dude, that
back.
piss him off. You get Brock in the mood, you tell him fuck you. He gets pissed. It's the best.
Ah. Yeah, it won't be the best of one of these days when you go to sit down and a fucking wax off your nuts or some shit. And it'll bite my ass. You get me to that part. He'll tell me to fuck off.
Brock
And then I'll lose my shit and he'll pay for it. And
Brock-
he'll be like, okay,
Brock
maybe
gets
this
mad
was
for a
dumb.
second with me, and then he realizes it's me, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm not. There's no reason to get mad. It's fucking Brody."
Hey, the other day he said something at the counter, and it actually 6 other people paid for it, not him. And I thought about telling him, hey, Brody, guess what? Everybody else had a longer day because you decided to go on. He would have been like, oh, that's cool. And I'd been like, yeah, but it was 2 people you don't have any reason to hate yet. And he would have been like,
I don't even know
Well,
what
what
that
the
that's
is.
hell
not
did
cool.
you do,
I don't
Brody?
fucking know.
I don't remember what you said, but you said something and you walked through the doors and I was like, that motherfucker, get the fuck to where. I was like angry guy after that. I don't know what the fuck you did, but
Damn, I
No.
wish I knew.
it was a long day.
Wait, so you got mad at everybody else because of me?
I just started chewing everybody else's ass because
Nice.
they
Honestly,
already don't do shit. So when you piss me off, I just go to beating on
That's
them.
good. I like this.
Yeah, poor Chase.
Well, I know you're not taking it off.
Dude,
I
Chase
know
takes
you-
a lot of abuse.
So I know you're not taking it off on him. So it's
No.
gotta be everybody else.
don't
So
have
I'm
to worry
fine with
about that.
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that.
You're fine with him abusing everybody else.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because most of them deserve it. Other than Chase. Chase don't really deserve it, but Chase can live. Chase will live.
He's got thick skin. He'll be fine.
Hmm.
I don't know about that, but he'll be fine
He'll be fine.
for a while.
I mean, yeah.
I just wish I wouldn't have knew what I said.
I don't remember what it was.
So
You
I'm
were
gonna try
giving me
it
a bunch
Tuesday.
of shit. You were giving me a bunch of shit about something, and I was just like, Brody, you can go the fuck into the back at any point in time. And you said something else, and I was like, fucking, my eyes lit up, and you went, and I was like, you motherfucker. And I think Chase is actually who I directly took it out on. I turned and looked at Chase, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm helping a customer. I was like, damn right you are. I said it in a complete joking way. Like, I knew I wanted to drive it that way. He was just like, man, when Brody's up here, Brock's an asshole.
I do my job well.
It worked perfect because every time you walk through the door, Chase is fucking busy.
Well, I'm not up there to fucking do it to you all day anymore, so I gotta get in as
I
much as I
know.
can and then fucking dip.
I know, but it's funny though because when that time happens, I get some productivity out of certain people. Other people, no, worthless as tits on a fucking billy goat. Certain people, yep, they
I don't
fucking
think I've
move
ever
their
heard
ass.
that-
I'm like,
that
yeah.
fucking saying before. Worthless as tits on a billy goat.
You never heard that?
No.
How about she's 2 axe handles and a plug of chaw across the hind pockets?
What the fuck?
She got a fat ass.
Oh, I like that one. To repeat that so I can remember it.
I don't know. That's one of the other ones that I always thought was great. One I remembered on Friday was don't argue with stupid people because it's a whole lot like arguing with pigs. You'll never get anywhere but covered in mud.
I've heard a worse version of that one.
Yeah,
Covered in
there's
shit, but
there's a handful of different versions of that exact one. But I remembered it Friday at about 10:30 in the morning, I think is about when that little shit show went down.
good to know. I need to come up and make you angry, Brock, up front.
Not for my sake. I to be honest with you, I really don't get that angry. I'm normally the guy who tries to press it down, just fucking not talk about it and get rid of it. But in certain situations, I'm the kind of guy who will destroy the rest of what's left of my right shoulder to fucking beat the brakes off of somebody. Yes.
Never me.
But
though.
it takes a certain fucking punch for me to want to do that shit. So
There's been some days where I thought that I might get you to go off on me, but you never have.
no.
I think it's because you realize I'm me.
Well, that's
I've
because,
gotten to the point where you've gotten.
I
pretty
know that
angry,
most
but
of
then
whatever
like,
you
realize
say,
it's me.
if it's serious, it's the look on your face. If it's not serious, it's the look on your face. It's like, okay, you can read Brody by his facial expressions.
I don't have very many.
I know. And normally there's, I'm confused. I don't fucking understand. I'm fucking with you and I'm mad. Those are your like 4.
What about
And
his? I'm gonna
I also
kill
have my
myself.
"you're an idiot," and
Oh yeah, there's
this
the
is
you're
making
an
me
idiot.
want to unalive myself because
Thank you for your
everybody
choice of
around
words.
me is fucking stupid.
See, here you go. You got Carly all fucked up because you're just you and demonically depressed and every other fucking
Demonically,
thing.
whoa.
Says, I'm
I'm
sorry I didn't
fine.
mean to upset you, Brody. I promise it's all fun and games.
I'm not upset.
He's
You're
a nice
upset.
guy. I like him. He's Saturday Peter. So in our group chat, Peter is the punching bag for most of the fuckery. Your Saturday's Peter.
I'm not angry. You're angry.
I'm not angry. Oh, her? I don't know. It actually, to
fine.
me, it seems like she's a little upset that
Trust
she
me.
made you upset.
I'm not upset. I can take the fucking abuse. I do all day at work. I do.
I was gonna say, Carly, he's our everyday Peter over here.
I'm fine. Trust me. I will always be fine. Thumbs up.
Oh shit! Does anybody have the Dose of Dysfunction Facebook page?
No, I'm not.
Are you not friends with the Dose of Dysfunction?
I think I
Facebook
am.
page?
I just don't get on
You
Facebook.
motherfucker, you.
I think I am. I just don't get on fucking Facebook. I am not actually. But I
Wow.
can join it.
That's pretty fucked. All right.
What am I supposed to do? The
Hold
Would You
on.
Rather?
I'll pause my live. Yeah, we had a Would You Rather this
August
week.
7th? Is that the one?
I don't know. What's today's date?
Fucking no one commented on it. You guys all
So
suck.
today's like the 13th.
Hey, everybody that listens,
You suck.
You
Go fucking
suck.
comment on the goddamn Facebook post.
but we love you.
We don't post these fucking things
Thanks
for
for
our own
listening.
health.
But thanks for not answering.
Actually, that's not true. I know my wife answered
Then
because I
maybe
read
I'm
it
looking at
like
the wrong
3
one.
minutes afterwards.
Oh, I take it back. There's two. Ray.
I take it back. There's two people we don't have to chastise.
Ray and your wife.
All right, what is it?
Wait,
Read
is
it.
this Ray? Our Ray?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
you'll love his imagination.
Would you rather be a mad genius or popular but dim?
Mad genius.
What? Hold on. What does the wife say?
She said mad genius because I hate people anyway. Might as well be crazy smart. I kind of agree with that statement.
I was like, I don't give a shit. To be
What did
popular.
Ray say?
Ray said, but I'm both.
Ray is not both in like the slightest thing because when he comes to work, it's like, man, I wish I knew how this guy's brain functions.
Fucking, he
prior
comes up
to
with
work.
comebacks so fucking
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
dude.
I can't keep up with him, and it's fucking makes me laugh. And I'm just sitting there laughing. He thinks it's the best.
Well, because the rest of us are fairly decent in that realm of like shit we can come up with. Like Dave's pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm Dave fast,
I'm
but
not Dave. I'm not Dave or Ray fast.
Ray is like a
Ray-
whole nother fucking gear. Yeah. So I would agree. I would rather be fucking mad genius just so that I could know what it felt like for once.
In other words, he already is number 2.
Exactly. Yeah, my friends are all of the people on TikTok and whoever we forced to be here with us on Saturday. And in this case, I got really good at bribing both of you somehow into this booth
I
tonight.
didn't need to be bribed.
I was like, I don't know what I'm being bribed with. Like,
I got
That's what I'm a little worried about.
You tried bribing me with tacos, and I was gonna pay for them myself. Like, that's for you to come tomorrow. I was like, you know, I'm gonna show up.
No, that was kind of. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna get by the end of Friday. I was like, I may not know any of these people by the end of Friday.
No, but yeah, I think I do mad genius because I hate people. Anyway, like your wife said.
Yeah.
I think I complained about people to somebody this week. I don't know. I was like, people are fucking dumb.
Yeah, you complain
need
about
less
people to me
planets.
all the time.
yeah, like you've seen those shirts where it's like, I used to be a people person.
There's too many
Like, but
people.
then
Too many dumb people.
people happened or whatever the hell.
And
it says.
people happened.
But people ruined it.
Well, should we do another one or should we just settle her down?
Do another what?
Would you rather?
Do we have another one? I don't fucking know. I just saw one.
No. There's just the one.
I don't do this. This is a Casey part of the show.
Oh my god.
That was last week's.
Bear with us.
We suck at this. Casey, come back.
Kids, come back.
Casey, come back. I was such a fool.
Oh, we've done that one. Fucking, we've done so many would you rather's. It's kind of getting to the point where it's like we're running out of them. Did you?
What kind of lame ass would you rather questions are these online?
What? That's what I'm looking at right now. Would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
What is this? That's just lame.
That's what you.
Either one, they suck.
I don't know, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I got to be on a late night stakeout, probably not going to pick the dude in those two.
Those are two women.
I don't know who
Well-
Captain Marvel is.
Wait, what was the two options? Captain Marvel and who?
Captain Marvel and
So
Wonder
in
Woman.
the like Marvel cinematic universe,
Yeah,
it's a
I'm good on
woman.
that bitch.
But like,
I don't know. Either way, I grew up with Wonder Woman. Gonna hang out with her in her invisible jet.
There you go. I'll let her lasso me.
Just, just two people flying through the air, fucking.
We're not doing it on top of the fucking invisible jet.
No, but you're in it and it's invisible, so just be you. Fucking your body's.
You're invisible inside the invisible jet.
Is that how it works? I don't fucking
Yes.
I would think that's how.
Watch
it
a
works.
fucking
I
cartoon,
don't
damn it.
fucking watch DC shit. I don't know.
Fucking Christ.
Some
I
people's
know.
kids.
I'm just another piece of shit walking this earth.
Another fucking Marvel only asshole.
It's what I grew up with. I didn't really grow up watching DC stuff. Other than Batman. I was never a big fan of Batman, though.
I don't know. I mean, he's like the ultimate superhero.
Okay, we're not getting into this. We'll be here for another hour.
He is, though.
How?
He's you with all the gadgets.
Me?
Yeah, any of us. He's anybody with all. He's the whole reason the superhero dream is still alive.
Because it's like the only one that's feasible.
Yeah, he's the only motherfucker that could potentially save you. Still has to go to work on Monday. All the rest of them are like, oh, saving you is what I do. But they have all these fucking radiation powers and bullshit.
What
He's
about Iron
taking
Man?
real life shit.
Iron
No,
Man is literally
that's
the better
true.
version of Batman. He's actually smart and a
Who?
scientist and makes his own shit. Iron Man.
Oh, except for the fucking thing that's implanted in his
Yeah,
chest.
but he's a scientist that made that in his chest.
Okay, and 10 minutes later, if he did not figure it out, dead.
Yeah, but he's smart. That's my whole
I
point.
get that he's
Batman's
smart.
just a rich fucking whiny bitch kid that fucking had his daddy's money buy all of his gear.
In all fairness,
I mean,
He
Iron
came
Man's
first,
rich
though.
too, but he's also fucking smart.
Yeah, but he's only smart enough to figure out how to
Alright.
keep
We're
fucking
gonna
shrapnel
lose
from going.
fucking viewers.
only smart enough.
We're gonna
He's
lose.
only smart enough, all right?
We're gonna lose viewers from this shit. They're like, this shit's boring.
I don't want to like upset you or anything, Brody. But Batman came first.
I know he did.
Okay,
Detective
but
Comics.
therefore he was the reason Iron Man's even possible.
Okay. Whatever. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Kind of figured
Either
that's
end the
where that was gonna
podcast or next subject.
go. Oh, you get to drive the bus
Can we
now?
talk
Hell
about-
yeah.
Can we talk
Casey's
about the
not here. I'm
bananas?
taking
now?
over. Oh, the bananas.
Oh yeah, what
Fucking
was that
bananas.
shit?
Oh, that
He
so
goes, you know, bananas don't exist.
Bananas
right?
don't
I'm
exist
pretty sure
anymore.
I bought them at the store.
again, you bought Cavendishes.
I did not buy.
What are they
an
called?
Old British man.
Cavendish.
Cavendish?
Yep. So actual bananas went extinct in like the 50s or 60s. So basically, a Cavendish is like really, really similar, but actual legit bananas went extinct. So
I
there's
didn't
things.
buy an Old British man.
So there are
I
things
bought
like
a banana.
a lot of banana flavored stuff. It doesn't. Am I wrong? It doesn't taste the same as bananas like you buy from the store. It's because they basically back in, I said many, many decades ago, developed the syrups and stuff based off actual bananas. And basically, they've been able to kind of
Wait a minute.
keep-
See, what you're telling me is that the banana tree is a hybrid of some sort of banana offspring.
I don't know if that's the case. Like if it's some sort of hybrid or
Different
whatever.
species, kind of like a plantain. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes,
Where a plantain isn't a banana, but it's
Correct.
the same species.
correct. But yeah, actual bananas went extinct.
I don't know if I believe this. Dave, I feel like you could be fucking with me.
Nope.
He might be fucking with you. Oh yeah, Carly says that Nebraska doesn't exist.
Nebraska
Oh, I
doesn't.
don't-
Okay. This has just become a conspiracy fucking podcast.
And a thing I don't understand, because at a certain point in time, why wouldn't you just quit calling them bananas and call them Cavendishes?
Probably because Cavendish sounds retarded.
Yeah, it sounds like
Oh,
a
okay.
British fucking old rich British man.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
Sure, fuck it.
Cavendish. Sounds like fucking Batman's butler.
Alfred.
Okay, settle
Alfred
down.
Cavendish.
Settle down. Fucking. I like
I'm outta
Iron
here.
Man too.
I'm
just
angry about
saying.
the bananas now. Get me out of here.
He's getting all fired up too. He was all cranked up as soon as they was like,
From now on, every time I'm in the grocery
Batman.
store, hand me a fucking bundle of Cavendishes.
There you go.
Oh my god! I can't wait till somebody looks at me and goes, "What did you do? You did what to your what?"
Go
think
to the
I have
worker.
this-
Where are your Cavendishes at?
I feel like I've seen that somewhere though, where it actually had a descriptor of like Cavendish or whatever. Like, but I forget where,
What are
but
the little baby bananas called?
I think those are just a different kind of plantain.
Those
don't
things
know.
suck.
They
That's
still
I'm gonna
suck.
be
I would
like
agree with that.
sort
I
of
hate
a
bananas.
snob about it,
No, bananas are good. Or Cavendishes are good.
I fucking hate
I
them.
love
but
Cavendishes. I'm so calling them
Mushy,
from now.
nasty.
but there's a
fucking
huge
shit.
difference. Like by the time they are available to us at a market to buy and eat, like no other country on this planet based them at the stage that we do.
Yeah,
Like-
Casey ate
Well,
a
yeah.
green. It was
Yeah.
green.
Yeah,
Like, almost
that's
like
how.
a 7-Up. I was like, what
That's
the
how
fuck?
basically everywhere else on the planet eats
I can't.
a when they're green.
Bitter. Ugh.
Yeah, but that goes back to the same thing that Casey was talking about a couple weeks ago, is that like desserts and shit in the U.S. are fucking super sweet. Like you take a bite of chocolate and you're like, oh,
Well,
this is
even-
nothing but a Hershey's bar, but you give it to somebody from like the Middle East
And they die.
and they're like, what the
They
fuck is
die.
this?
That's
They can only eat like one
Yeah.
little piece out
It's
of a
bread.
Hershey.
bread in America.
Oh yeah.
Is like you give it like a piece of white bread to like basically anyone from another country, and they're just like super sweet. But to
Yeah.
us, like I mean, like, or for like most Americans, like you're kind of numbed to it.
Like
Whatever.
most
Right.
Americans.
Yeah. But yeah, like the bread that's made in America, super sweet.
Oh
There's
yeah.
lots of sugar in most bread that we eat.
Oh, well, even like I said, all of our desserts, all of their desserts are more bland. Where you're like, oh, this could be good, I guess. I mean, it's not bad.
But you get used to
But
it.
then you eat like a and you're like, holy fuck, there's sugar in that thing. So I mean, I could get it.
But yeah, I mean, but it means like you get used to it. It's like if that's all. I mean, if
It's like I fucking
That's
hate
all you-
rice, and so many other cultures. That's like a huge
that's like
thing.
the staple of
Yeah, and I
most diets.
fucking hate. Well, more or less, I hate white rice.
Doesn't taste like anything.
Right. So why the fuck should I have to deal with eating it?
Put some flavoring on it.
Then it's
See-
no longer white rice.
I like.
It's still white rice.
I don't-
No
It's just got
uh,
seasoning on it.
bullshit.
Okay.
I like sticky
Chinese
rice,
Yeah, well, okay, but
But
that's because I
not-
like sushi.
but not a lot of rice beyond that. Actually, I'm kind of with Brock. Is that I'm like,
Y'all suck.
if it's
I
just a
fucking hate
filler, like why? What's the point?
It is. If
'Cause
sweet
it's a
corn,
filler and it's cheap.
if sweet
You're
corn
cheap.
wasn't
I am.
sweet, I wouldn't fucking eat it. Like corn on the cob has to be sweet, or I'll put it down. Because if it's not sweet and like has that certain taste to it, I won't fucking eat it. It's just a filler. You shit it out the same way you took it in. Rice is pretty much the same way.
I think you digest rice better than corn.
Yeah, but it's just a fucking
Yeah.
filler. That's the whole reason why, like, if I'm weird, but if I order something and it comes with, I will refuse to eat my fries first. Like, if they bring me my fries and my steak is wrong, and they're like, okay, well, we'll take this steak, like if it's on separate plates or whatever, and they take the steak back, I won't eat the filler foods until my steak comes back and I'm done with it. because I want the piece that cost me $26 fucking dollars. That's what I want to eat. I don't want to eat the fucking filler part that I could have fucking shucked or peeled in my fucking house.
I mean, you could have made the steak in your house too, you lazy piece of shit.
No, and that's true. But still to that same thing, a tater cost me 86 cents where the fucking steak cost me $5 or $10 or whatever the fucking steak cost. I want to eat the steak. I spent more money on it. I want to eat that. The tater, sure. Fuck it. I'll eat it. Chop it into french fries. We'll see how many of them I eat after how full I feel with the steak. So it's the same kind of thing. I don't want to eat a fuck ton of rice to then not be able to eat the other things on the plate. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's a fucking filler. It's like putting the, extra shit into your body that you have to make yourself feel full.
Why so angry over rice? I'm not passionate.
Exactly. I'm passionate, dedicated to the hatred of rice. No, I mean, like I said, though, it's the same thing with corn or the same thing with anything else. If there's mashed potatoes and a salad and a fucking ribeye on my plate, I'm going to eat them in value first. A value salad to be shit. So, I mean, that's what my food poops on. And we've been over this.
Salad's still good, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat a salad every now and again, but I'm not going to spend $25 on a fucking salad.
Yeah, I get that.
But I would spend that on the right steak.
In it, but I like chicken. You don't.
Yeah,
You don't like chicken?
No, I
Yeah.
fucking hate chicken.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
Raise them. You won't like chicken either. Raise enough chickens, you won't like them.
Yeah, we've been over this.
Yeah. If your
They hurt
food
his
eats
feelings
your
one
food,
time.
it's no longer my food.
What?
My food, like if chicken was my food, chicken eats my food.
Chicken eats chicken?
Chicken literally will eat other chicken while they're alive and dying right
Yeah,
there in the
birds will eat each other.
Fucking
Will you
disgusting.
You eat
Cannibals.
pork?
Yeah, not much.
Because pigs do that too.
I know. And that's
Animals
what
are cannibals.
doesn't make me real fond
Animals are
of pork chops.
cannibals.
They are. A lot of them are.
The most that
You
I'll
ate
eat
Chick-fil-A
pork,
the other day. What do you mean you like chicken?
I
You
said I
asked
don't
for it.
like it. I didn't say that I wouldn't eat it.
You asked for it.
I know. I knew a certain person who wanted it.
Yeah, but you asked specifically. You were like, I want this, and I want one of these, and I want this. To
No,
come with
I
it.
said that if I had to eat Chick-fil-A, it has to be this and it has to be this. Otherwise, fuck it. I'm out. I know because I've said that about 40 fucking times to my wife, who keeps continuously
said,
not
"Steak
figuring
is
out what my
gross."
order is.
Well, you are wrong, ma'am.
I make sacrifices for all of you.
No, she said steak is gross, and I told her she's wrong.
Who the fuck said steak is gross?
What do you think?
Is that Carly?
Yep.
Carly? Oh. Well,
Well,
there
we
goes
can
that.
no
All
longer
right,
be
well,
friends.
we're done now. Everybody have a good night.
New
I'm out.
moderator.
I'm out. Where's the fucking button here?
Next, gonna say tri-tip with salsa is gross.
Actually, I would try it. I don't know that it's going to be as good as tri-tip and barbecue sauce, but I would try it.
We're gonna have to try it one time. You
I
have
tri-
to get the right size.
I tried that
type
taco
salsa.
that you fucking told me I had to try, and that thing
you
was fucking amazing.
Thought it was delicious. Thank
Now
you
I'm
very
like,
much.
oh, here we go. I want lunch. Let's spend $50.
I told you, didn't I? Didn't I tell you they're the best tacos ever?
They are. They're fucking good. Birria tacos. I even remembered the name. They're that fucking
Because
good.
it sounds like beer, so of course you're gonna remember it.
I actually haven't
Birria
put that together
tacos.
until right now. But either which direction. So let's wrap this thing up. We're headed we're actually over 2 hours. We're in Casey's favorite territory.
Nice.
So thank you everybody for joining in on Instagram and I think we had Twitch and YouTube. I finally got YouTube working. I appreciate the one viewer there. Appreciate everybody, all the comments, obviously our moderator. Thank you very much for being here. If I missed your comments, I'm sorry. Kind of not sorry. I don't pay much attention to it. I'm here to have fun. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. But on that note,
For you, okay? I do this for me.
shut up, Brody. No, we appreciate every one of you, and like I said, if I go through, I'll try to read whatever comments that I missed and get back to whoever it is. But we thank you, and everybody have a good night.
You guys are great.